All right. Cameron, shall we kick it off?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. And welcome to Mastering Catalyst with all of us here. We are so excited that you guys joined, signed up for this webinar, and that you literally want to learn more about Catalyst and getting some pro tips and guidance from our team. And I'm happy to kick this off and go through some basics and what to expect during this hour together. And afterwards, I'm going to hand it over to Cameron. So, roughly, we're going to have an hour together, maybe less, maybe more, but this is what we're aiming for. And we will also be able to save some time for questions in the end. However, please, we highly encourage everybody to put their questions into our chat function, which you can see below. I think if you're on your phone, you have to swipe to the right to see your chat. And yeah, just pop them in the chat. So you see our team on the side. So Ashley and Isabel will supporting us on the chat front. So we're gonna answer questions in there, and we also take a couple live and taking some time for a big Q&A in the end. And yeah, also a quick note, we have some questions popping up in between. So we're gonna run some polls, and everybody will see like some little windows popping up on their window, and it would be great if you guys have the second just to answer and help us learning more about you guys. And if you have personal questions, feel free to put them in the chat as well about suit sizing or if you have fit issues, because we also have the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one session with our care team afterwards. I mean, you have that opportunity all the time, just flagging it, and you can text, email us via support@katalyst.com. And one thing to keep in mind, this whole session will be recorded. So if you guys have to jump off, drop off, we totally understand. Don't worry, we're gonna share the deck afterwards as well as the whole recording. And yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna hand it over to Cameron. And please, guys, do not hesitate to keep the chat active because that's what we're here for.
All right. Thank you for the strong intro here. I'm excited to jump in with you guys. My name is Cameron. I'm a part of our care team here with Catalyst. So if you've written into support here in the past, you've likely spoken with myself or with Isabel, who's also on this call. She'll be in the chat answering questions that pop in there. But very excited to be with you guys today and go through our webinar here. So goal of this session over the next hour is just to get you guys feeling really super comfortable with your Catalyst and give you guys all of the tips and tricks just to feel confident and successful moving forward here. So we have a couple things to go over. We will be covering our guided series that are now available in the app, our modes of training, levels and workout intensities, and how to best set those for yourself, app navigation and how to use that best, how to prep your suits super fast and get suited up appropriately so that it's seated on the body right and fitting great. We'll also go over quickly content publications and then do a nice Q&A at the end. Josie may have said this as well, so if I'm repeating, I apologize, but we will do our best to answer as many questions as we can in the chat. If you don't see your question answered, that is because we have pulled it and we will be answering it live in the Q&A session after. So rest assured, everything will be answered, whether it's in text in the chat or via myself at the end of our session here in the Q&A. So jumping right in, we've got guided series. So we received some really great feedback from you guys over the past couple years, just looking for some more guidance on how to program your workouts and move through our different workouts. So just looking for a strong program, what to jump to and how to best set yourself up for success. So we released guided series here in the last couple of months. Main priority with these is again just to give you a strong program, a nice list and carousel of workouts to follow that fall in line with the goal of that series. The most exciting one that we have put out is our 6-week Build a Habit series. This one was designed just to help make Katalyst a habit within your first 6 weeks. It consists of 12 workouts, so 2 workouts programmed per week. That will take you through those first 6 weeks. It's really great for learning the software of the Katalyst, how to navigate the app, how to adjust your intensities. It's just kind of like a really nice partner there going along with you as you're getting started. So all of these series exist at the top of your app screen, so you're able to click into them. And we have some really great ones that have been released since we grabbed these screen grabs here, and we have even more coming out in the coming weeks. So please go in there and take a look at those. And anytime you're looking just for more guidance or a program to follow, these will be your best friend in that. All right, and our training modes. So we offer 4 different modes of training. We have our strength mode, power mode, cardio, and recovery. So quickly going through all 4 of these and kind of how they differ. Strength mode is what I like to say kind of our bread and butter here. It is designed to target your type 1 muscle fibers and make that really strong foundation of muscle. So kind of like those building blocks, building that strong muscle mass there. This is going to be a 4-second rhythm. So you'll feel your suit power on for 4 seconds and then release for 4 seconds. So you're getting a full 10 minutes time under tension within a 20-minute strength session. In these sessions, you have slow, controlled movements. So you're thinking like 1 bicep curl per impulse or 1 overhead press, whatever's programmed. So you're moving really slow and controlled, and again, targeted to improve muscle strength, endurance, and growth within those muscles. Our power mode will feel very similar. It is a different frequency than the strength mode, which you won't feel, but your muscles recognize it. So this is targeting your type 2 muscle fibers. So those fast twitch muscle fibers that make the muscle really dynamic and useful. Still a 4-second rhythm. So you'll feel your suit fire on for 4 seconds, rest for 4 seconds, but these are more dynamic or ballistic movements. So you'll do like 3 really fast overhead presses, or 3 really fast bicep curls, or whatever it may be, within that 4 seconds. So you're moving a lot faster and a lot more dynamic. It's improving your performance and really great for performance activities like jumping, running, sprinting, throwing, all of those big ballistic movements that we make our muscles do in some big activities there. And then in our cardio session, or cardio mode, these sessions are going to be a consistent impulse. So it almost feels like a constant drumming throughout the body. So not that 4-second rhythm, it's consistent throughout the full session. Again, feels like a twitching or a drumming. Oh, Josie, can I go back for just a second? Accidental button press there. So in that cardio mode, you're not getting a full muscle contraction or squeeze of the muscle. So you're able to do the cardio mode a lot more frequently, which I guess I'll backtrack for a second. Those strength and power modes are designed to only be done 2 to 3 times a week. They need a lot of rest in between those sessions there, just to give the muscle time to recover because you are getting that full muscle contraction. So strength and power 2 to 3 times. Cardio can be done up to every day. To my original point of you're not getting that full muscle contraction. So a little less strenuous on the muscles. It's designed to challenge your aerobic capacity. So it's almost acting like an external stimuli on the body, making the heart work a little bit harder just to get blood flow out to the muscles that are being stimulated. Cardio mode is really great. It can be used in a freestyle on your favorite exercise equipment, like a treadmill, a bike, or you can do our guided sessions as well there. And then recovery mode will feel very similar to cardio. It is still that consistent impulse throughout, a little bit more of like a humming than a drumming, and designed just to help muscle recovery there. So you're getting a nice flow of blood through the body, helping to wash out lactic acid, muscular waste, and just help the muscles recover faster. Recovery mode can also be done up to every day and in tandem with strength and power. So we'll get into some programs next and what it might look like to kind of start to combine these 4 different modes into your typical week here. So again, power and strength mode designed to only be done 2 to 3 times a week with 48 hours to 72 hours of rest in between just to give adequate recovery. So you can see on this program on the left, this is a week with two catalyst or with two strength sessions programmed in, strength and power. So you have that nice chunk of 3 days of rest in between days 2, 3, and 4, rest days that you are not getting that really strenuous workout of a power or a strength. But you do see a nice little sprinkle in there of a cardio workout on day 2. Another great way to use your catalyst again without that really extreme strain on the muscles. And then the program over on the right is what a week may look like with 3 strength or power sessions in your week. So seeing those 2 days of rest in between, so days 2 and 3, and 5 and 6 are your recovery in between those strength and power. And again, just seeing where you can sprinkle in that cardio and recovery in there as well. And this slide is really great just for showing how this could fit into your current routine. If you're somebody that likes to go to the gym and is strength training in the gym or in different ways than just Catalyst right now, we get that question a lot. So similar to those other programs, you're seeing we have a strength workout on day 1. We have that nice chunk of rest on day 2. Day 3 is your traditional strength session. So maybe you're going to the gym that day, hitting your squats and RDLs and all of those good things. Then you have a rest on day 4. Day 5, you're back to Catalyst with a power workout. Day 6, a nice active recovery day. So a nice walk, round of golf, something that keeps the body moving, but not super strenuous there. And then day 7, back to a traditional strength training session. So back in the gym. All right. And levels of workout intensities. So this is also a really frequent question we get is knowing how your levels are programmed and how your intensities are set correctly. So starting with levels here, we have levels 1 through 4 within our workouts, our programs here. So contrary to popular belief, these levels have nothing to do with the intensity of the impulses being delivered to your training system. They simply are just a nice indicator for the complexity of movements that's programmed within that session. So level 1 workouts are going to be a little bit more simple in movements, thinking static movements, so nothing that involves like lateral or front movement. You're standing on both feet the entire time. And you're thinking of bilateral movement, so both sides of the body working together at the same time. Levels 2 through 4 start to step up that programming a little bit. So thinking movements that require a little bit more stability or balance, like a single leg RDL, some twisting, some unilateral movements, working one side of the body at a time, and more of those compound movements as well. So just taking those steps up 2 through 4. Again, you could do a level 4 workout at really low intensities and have that feel less hard or equal to a level 1 workout at really high intensity. So it's what you make of it, doing with what the trainers program for you within those levels. All right, and intensities. So our intensities are programmed within our software to start at a starting intensity. And from that starting intensity, they will about double throughout each session. Each session is going to be a little bit different based on the trainer's programming. But you can expect about that 2x growth there. So with females, starting intensity without any adjustments, so this is just where the program starts you off straight off the bat, will start you at 57. Males will start at 82. And our intensities range from 0 to 480. So there's a lot of growth there. And we almost expect that that starting intensity straight off from the software there, that 82 and 57, is not going to be where you stay. We expect that you will get your starting intensity ramped up a little bit from there as you get comfortable. And we're looking for something that ends at least 100 plus. So typically at these starting intensities, you'll kind of feel like a vibration through the body. You might start to feel some muscle contractions. But what we're looking for with a strong starting intensity is that you're getting that full muscle contraction, that squeeze and tightness through the muscle evenly throughout the full body. Again, with that expectation that it will double, but getting to a nice starting spot to make those first few moments of your workout nice and effective as well. All right, and going through some layout here in the app just to discuss what these different buttons do. Within a workout, we have our overall intensity decrease. So that is that minus button over on the left. That will decrease your overall intensity. Same thing over on the right. That is your intensity increase, and that big plus button. Your overall intensity is that number displayed right there in the center. So that is taking the average of all of your different muscle groups that we'll take a look at in a second here. We have individual muscle group adjustments. So that is that button over to the left. That looks like three little dials. This will open the channel to see all of your different muscle groups laid out there. And you can see each muscle group has its own intensity level. It's very common and expected to see all of those different muscle groups at different values. Bigger muscle groups like your middle back, your quads, your hamstrings need a lot higher intensity to recruit all of those muscle fibers and get everything working strong than a smaller muscle group like your biceps. So we like to head in here to make those muscle adjustments there. You can also group them by vest and by shorts, so that upper and lower, if you want to ramp up everything or decrease everything in one fall swoop there, just by selecting that vest as your upper and shorts just next to it there as your lower. We can also mute or turn off a muscle group. So if you get into your workout and you just really don't want to work hamstrings that day, you'll just press and hold that little jelly bean button there. It will gray and cross itself out, and that channel is then turned off or muted. We also have a unfollow button on the right hand side. So that's that little target with an arrow sticking out. This is to stop the trainer's adjustments as you're working out. So, like I said, your intensities will double throughout the workout. That's because Max is on the other side of the screen, adding your plus button, making everything go up. If you get to a point in your workout where you've had enough, you want Max to stop messing with your intensities, you'll just use that unfollow button and it will hold your intensity right where it's at for the rest of your workout unless you turn it back off again. Oh, and this was just highlighting there that grayed out was turned on. So you had selected it. This white is turned off. So you can see the difference in color there to know where you're at. And a few additional features here that not everyone is always aware of. We are integrated with Apple Watch, so you can have your Apple Watch right on your wrist while you're working out. You can see your heart rate while you're training, and also really great way to do your adjustments on your suit right there on the watch. You have your plus and minus button, so really handy to not have to lean over to your iPad or your phone, and you can just do everything right on your wrist there. You're also able to AirPlay or screen mirror to a smart TV or a TV with Apple TV attached to it, so it can make that display a lot larger. And we are available on both iPhone and iPad. All right. Pairing your impulse pack. This is also a very frequent question we get. Can be a little bit of a hang up in your first pairing. Also important for our friends here that have been with Katalyst for a while and might get a new device like a new iPad for Christmas or whatever. You'll need to pair your impulse pack. So important to listen here. We do all of our pairing within the Katalyst app, so you will not be in your device settings. Though it is important to first go to your device settings, make sure that Bluetooth is turned on and that Katalyst has Bluetooth permissions. From there, you'll go into the Katalyst app, right on the home screen, nothing fancy. Then you're taking your impulse pack and you are pressing and holding that power button until your blue light speeds up. So as you turn it on, you'll see that blue light initially flashing, just kind of nice and slow, mellow. As you continue to hold that power button, it will speed up. So you'll see a very clear difference in speed. Once that speed changes, you can release your thumb and you will see that pairing request there on your screen. You'll hit pair, and then you can see that your device is connected up in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see a little battery indicator, which I do believe our battery indicator has changed in our last app update. So it is a little circle now, but still in that upper right-hand corner, you'll see it connected. One note I did want to make is that this is only for that first time. The impulse pack is getting paired to device. So your first time working out with the iPad or the iPhone. As you continue to use your Katalyst, all of these steps are not needed. You just simply turn on your impulse pack and it will recognize your device and connect really simply there. All right, fast setup of these suits. We're going to talk about wetting first here. So we hear and experience that wetting the suit takes about 3 to 7 minutes on average for our members. So a really quick, painless process. I like to put on a nice Taylor Swift song, get myself pumped up, and see if I can get my full suit wet within that 3 minutes or so of the song, which normally I'm very successful with. So wetting the suit, I'm going to do a quick demo in a second, but a few important notes here is that we are holding that spray bottle nozzle close to the pad. So you are literally injecting water into the pad. We're not hovering above. We have that nice clear connection. And just a friendly tip is that we are using warm water. Just makes the experience a lot more comfortable than you're not putting on a wet, cold suit. You're putting on a warm, wet suit. So feels a lot nicer on the body. I'm going to quickly transition over to my second camera here. So just popping over. All right. So we should see my pad here. I've got my spray bottle. I've already pumped it up so it has nice pressure built inside. I'm taking the nozzle of my spray bottle, pressing it right into that pad, hitting my trigger button here and giving a nice big zigzag motion side to side. So I'm making sure to hit all four corners of that pad. It is fully saturated. And then one way that I know it is wet enough is when I press into that pad, some water is pooling up to the surface. So it is nice and soaked through as opposed to hovering over and just giving a quick mist. We really like that injected pad a lot better. It'll help with a smoother connection and a lot more comfortable experience as well. All right, transitioning back to you guys here. Okay, I believe we're going to suit fit and set up next. So having a good suit fit is really important. We wet down the pads like I just demoed so that water is our conductor within our suit. Conductor or conduction and compression are the two most important parts in a successful session or to get those EMS impulses into the body. So we always want to make sure that suit is fitting really nice and snug, should feel like a really tight hug into the body without cutting off blood flow or feeling like you're unable to breathe in it, but we want it really nice and snug. We will adjust the vest from the bottom up, which I will demonstrate in a second. Um, and we will put that vest on first, short second. If you are ever feeling any like tingling or stinging through the suits, we want to just ensure that the pads are wet enough, that our suit is adjusted so we have really great compression, and just making sure that arm straps and everything are rotated and on the body correctly here. So I'm gonna go up to my suit here, right behind me, demonstrate for you guys quickly what we look for as we suit up, just to make sure all the pieces are on correctly. All right, so my vest and my shorts are connected. One helpful little tip too, I don't know if you saw it hanging behind me, but when I store my suits, I like to put my armband just Velcroed up on my chest pad there. That way they don't get lost, mixed in with the laundry. They're always nice and attached to my suit. So it was hanging out there. Got two pieces connected. My vest goes on just like a regular vest, sliding in through the arms. I'm going to give my vest a nice zip up and a nice pull down towards the hips, just so it sits nice and low on my chest here. And then grabbing my shorts. Shorts are going to go on across the low hips. And for me, it does overlap with just the very bottom of my vest here. Everyone may be a little bit different just based on torso length, but I've got a nice little overlap going across the low hips, lower than I wear my jeans or my leggings. And I'm just strapping into the waist there. From there, I'm going into thigh pads. So buckling in first, and then I will adjust second. Strapped in through the thighs. From here, I'm going to pull down towards the knees, so lowering down away from my groin, and then rotating out towards the outer thigh. So the whole pad there really shifted to the top of my thigh rather than the inner part there. So I'm holding it up on the top, giving a nice snug adjustment. It is nice and compressed down into the thigh now. So I'm about halfway down and sitting on the top of the thigh there. I would do the same thing over on the other side and then move on to the vest. We start with the bottom of the vest and work our way up. So I'm just pulling those bottom straps, D-rings, like a corset, both at the same time, really hugging myself in. Got all 8 of those. And then I finish up with the shoulder strap. So nice pull down. And then we have extra fabric up here at the shoulder. And you stick your finger beneath that buckle and pull that fabric down and forward. So it is just tucked in there, laying flat against my chest. So I'm nice and snug through the whole vest, through the short. My glute pads are nice and flat on my glutes there because they're pulled down towards my knees, and I'm ready to rock. I've got my armband to throw on last. So I've got my Velcro strap up off the back, making a loop with that band. I keep that tab facing in towards the center line of my body and slide my arm into that loop. From there, I have that nice open space with the elastic on the inner meaty part of my bicep. And I'm just pulling down and wrapping up on that adjustment strap. Might give a small little rotation in here, but for the most part, seated pretty good. So my little snap adjustments are on the outer part of my tricep. My whole arm is wrapped minus that inner part of my bicep there. All right. I'm going to quickly de-suit here.
Thanks, Kim. I just want
Yes.
like one little question while we're on that topic. Someone told me they just throw the whole suit in a tub to wet it faster. Is this okay? What's your take?
Yeah, man, that sounds a little bit messy and maybe a little bit more work than what might be needed. Um, Totally possible if that is your preference on how you'd like to do it. You'll have a soaking wetsuit at that point, but definitely not what we recommend from Catalyst. We like to recommend that pressurized spray bottle. The electrode pads are multi-layered. There are tons of little tiny intricate layers. So we want that pressurized stream of water to go in and inject and make sure the full pad is fully saturated there.
Perfect, thank you. Are you seeing the slides?
I'm not.
Oh, I feel like something. There you go.
There we go. Thank
Brother.
you.
Thanks, Kim.
Alrighty, yes. Okay, so onboarding guide. This is just a nice pre-recorded video with Michael to walk through all of those steps that I just went through there. This does live in the app, so if you want to review anything I just covered or show your friends or what have you, this always lives there. So it is the first thing you'll see when you log into the app for the very first time. And then on top of that, if you travel to more, down in the lower right-hand corner of your app, you will see that Get Ready guide there highlighted. And then you can head into Michael's videos. The really great thing of this is that it is a multi-step video that you are able to click through at your own speed. So if you really don't want to watch like the suit unboxing and all of that and just skip to how he puts on his shorts, you're able to scroll through and select just that segment of the video. So a really great resource for you guys if you ever want to review any of that. All right, suit longevity. Another really frequent question, washing and caring for your suit here. So the base layer is able to be washed after every use. We recommend a cold cycle, delicate, gentle detergent, and it can be put in the dryer. Suggested to hang dry, just to keep some abrasion down there, but whatever works best for you and your routine. Um, the suit itself, the vest, the shorts, and the armbands can also be put in the washing machine, but we recommend to do this a lot less frequently. So it is antimicrobial, so you're not really going to get odor through it, which is really great. But you may start to notice that it looks a little bit dirty as you sweat and it evaporates over a couple of months. So lean towards washing this a lot less frequently, like every couple of months or once a quarter, whatever works best for you there. We suggest throwing it in a laundry bag, each piece in a laundry bag, fully zipped up, just to keep the pads enclosed. And can go again, delicate cycle, cold water, gentle detergent, and then come out to hang dry. The suit does not go in the dryer. As far as hanging, sorry, I thought I was done. I wasn't. As far as hanging and storing your suits, just make sure straps are loose. We are hanging it in a well ventilated place, unzipped with those pads facing out. You can even turn it completely inside out. Just let the pads dry before placing it away fully, just so things don't get musty or go into a non ventilated place still wet. So let it dry fully, straps loose. Um, I like to hang mine right on the back of my door there. I have a little hook and it just lives out in the open all the time there. Okay, helpful resources. We have some really great resources within our socials and other places. We have an awesome YouTube channel that these sessions do get recorded and placed onto if you ever want to come back. We also have other videos on there, our pro tips, interviews with members, just some really great content existing there. We also have availability to our care team. So myself and Isabel, if you ever want to book a one-on-one session and go through adjusting your suit, making sure it's fitting correctly, training questions, anything like that, you're able to book a one-on-one session via Zoom for that. Uh, and we also have our Katalyst chat live on our website. This is a AI fueled system, but really nice for getting some quick automatic responses on any quick questions you may have. All right, and content publications. This is just as far as when we release new content. We do release new workouts every Monday. Some new series that are now live on the app. We have Building Resilient Joints and a Functional Fitness series. So both really great if you haven't checked them out yet. They are there live in the app. Look for those new workouts every Monday to spice up your routine, get into the new latest and greatest. And we do have two new trainers that are on the app. So we have Casey, who's really great, and Moses. So two new fresh faces in there for you. All right, Q&A.
Right. Thank you, Kim. And sorry, everybody, for the little mess up with the slides. My laptop is not in my favor today, but I hope everything's good. You covered it good. You covered me good. Thanks, everybody, also for like pulling in the questions. We've seen a couple private ones coming through, so I want to go through them. One question that came in, and I think you covered it, but maybe let's double click on it, is what is the right intensity?
Yeah, so the right intensity will differ for everybody. Quickly, I just took my AirPods out. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. The right intensity will vary for everybody just based on fitness level, BMI, how much muscle mass you have, how much adipose fat is covering those muscles. So will really vary greatly. How you can kind of figure out if your intensity is right for you is by just gauging your rate of perceived exertion and your comfortability during each session. So you're looking for that full muscle recruitment, moving past that like tingling or humming feeling through the body. You'll feel the muscle physically pick up and release. And you want to feel like you're getting a really great challenge throughout those 20 minutes, but nothing that feels completely impossible or really draining. Another really great way to gauge that is to make sure you are moving with strong resistance, but able to keep a full range of motion and keep good form while you're moving. So if I were to turn up my arm so high that I got my arm straight and I couldn't even get it back in, that's a good indicator that it's probably too high, or if I can't get my squats to full depth. So just moving in a pattern that feels comfortable, full range of motion, but still challenging there. As a small rule, typically we like to see everybody at least above 100 at a training intensity.
Yeah, thanks. And we were running a poll, so most of the people in here are training above the hundreds, which I think is really, really great to see. So push yourself, people, try things out. If you're not sore, if you're not feeling anything, just ramp it up a notch next time because we want you all to see results. And just pulling one question that just came in from Elliot. What if you're recovering from an injury and you want to just see how your muscles respond? What's the lowest intensity I can use?
Yeah, great question. So, side tangent on that is just making sure you're partnering with your doctor to make sure that training post-injury is safe and great for you in this part of your rehab as well. But a nice way to kind of test that out would be to either just start a session and it'll start you at that automatic for a male or female intensity and see how you feel there. From there, you can always turn it all the way down to 0 and slowly work your way up, or kind of sit and see how you feel there. So you have the flexibility in each session to change your intensities anywhere from 0 up to 480. So I would kind of just play around in there, possibly even within like a freestyle session or a session that doesn't have a trainer guiding you through exact movements.
Wonderful, thank you. And just another one from Elliot. Also, I read muscle soreness decreases if you do 5-minute recovery after each workout.
Yeah, we like to be a big advocate for that recovery session. Like with any workout, if you get done training and you take a minute to take a walk, flush out the blood through the legs, through the body, take a stretch, whatever, just to give your body a moment of rest. That's kind of what our recovery session does. So, we're big proponents of that, that it'll help reduce soreness there just because you're getting really great blood flow going throughout the full body and helping to bring blood to those areas where we just really targeted all of those muscle fibers and also help to flush out lactic acid and muscular waste that may help contribute to soreness.
Wonderful. I just go through. So one private question that came in was also, and we hear that a lot actually, so I'm glad that came up. How do I trigger my calves and forearms without extra pads?
Yeah, so that's a question we do get a lot. Calves and forearms are not directly stimulated by a pad placement directly over that muscle group, but you are getting stimulation through the body indirectly through the nerves that travel throughout those upper and lower extremities, and also through the workouts that are programmed. So you might see a coach program a squat to a calf raise or something along that manner to help target the calves in that way. But you are still getting indirect stimulation through those muscle groups, even though you don't see a physical pad placed right over it.
Perfect, thank you. What are good workouts for sore hamstrings?
Ooh, good workouts for sore
Mhm.
hamstrings. Um, Gosh, I feel like we have some really great yoga and stretching within our recovery sessions that are awesome. Um, I'm not super familiar, sadly, on if there are like lower body targeted ones or things like that. But really great sessions led both standing, laying on a mat with the suit on in recovery mode, to guide you through stretching there that hopefully will target the hamstrings. But even if not, you're still getting that stimulation through the suit, sending blood to that area to help with recovery and soreness there too.
Great, thanks, Kim. And then Stuart is asking if we can go back to one slide. And Stuart, I hope it's fine because we're sharing the slides afterwards so you can dig into the details. But maybe, Cameron, you can raise up again, like what's the optimum workout schedule? Like just maybe digging into that again, like how to space it out, what we suggest, especially for newbies. I think that's like always a big question.
Yeah, yeah. So, optimal workout schedule, again, will be a little different for everybody based on goals and time and fitness level, all of that stuff. But as far as training with strength and power mode, which are going to be the modes that are helping you build muscle or recomp, you want to do those sessions 2 to 3 times a week. That is kind of the sweet spot, at least two, no more than four if you really want to be an overachiever, but that 2 to 3 is a really great window because that will give you at least that 24, 48 hours of rest between those sessions. So it can be really great to do like a strength or power on Monday and then another one on Thursday. So you have those nice 2 days of rest in between. Personally, I can't handle more than 1 or 2 Katalyst sessions a week just with my other strength training. I get so sore and wiped out, and you'll kind of feel it through your body too. You'll do your strength session on Monday, and if you are ready for another one on Tuesday, that's a good indicator it may be time to turn up some intensities. Personally, I don't feel ready again until about Thursday to get into another Katalyst. So looking to do strength power 2 to 3 times a week, that nice chunk of rest in between, and then sprinkling in recovery and cardio where it feels appropriate.
Wonderful. Is it okay to take the suit as carry-on luggage when flying? I'm terrified TSL will size my suit.
Yeah, great question. We have all flown with our suits dozens and dozens of times and have not been taken by TSA ever. So no fear there. The Impulse Pack will have to carry travel as a carry-on and be carried with you, just because it is a lithium battery. So stays with you. The suit is welcome to go through carry on as well or be in checked baggage. It can go either way. But totally seamless. I've never been questioned on it or had it flagged. It just travels smoothly.
Yeah, I just think about our trainers traveling with multiple suits. So guys, don't worry. If there's just one in your luggage or in your carry-on, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
When a suit section disconnects, is there a way to fix the connection and resume the workout? I can only turn off the section to finish. I have to restart if I want to fix the connection.
Yeah, during a session, there is often not a way to fix that pad. Sometimes, like arm cables, will give you the opportunity to reconnect before turning off, but major muscle groups or pads will shut off. So there's not a way to fix it during a workout. Those suit or those pad issues pop up again, primarily either because your suit isn't fitted appropriately to your body, it's not getting good compression, or moisture. So, um, just to kind of stand on my soapbox for a moment, um, the wedding hacks that we see of sticking the suit in the shower or in the bathtub might feel a lot quicker at the moment to kind of it's sorry, lost our train of thought. Might feel quicker in the moment to suit up, but oftentimes those pads are not getting wet enough, as I mentioned before, which could cause issues in your workout later on. So, just my soapbox moment to take the time to wet everything down to hopefully avoid those later on. Um, Isabel's also popping into the chat here saying, I'm wrong. You can disconnect them and reconnect them by pressing and holding. So, by pressing and holding that muscle group, hopefully should be able to kind of recheck that connection and turn it back on during your workout.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. And the questions are flowing in here. So, next one from Rob. It's a longer one. I'd like to be able to monitor my heart rate, especially on another app. I use an arm monitor. Chest strap doesn't work, obviously. Catalyst seems to lock me in, and I can't change to another app during a session. It would be nice to integrate with health apps. I use Aura Ring, Apple Health, and Morpheus. So I'd like to be able to monitor my heart rate.
Yeah. So, while your Apple Watch can take your heart rate and monitor it while you're working out, or a monitor that's maybe placed below the elbow there on the brachial artery or whatever it may be, totally fine to use those during a session. And I hear your feedback too of integrating into other systems of Apple Health and Aura and Whoop and all of those things. And we are really excited to be able to offer those in the future. And we hear the feedback on that, on getting everything well integrated and webbed in together there.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. Our team is strongly on that. So again, guys, every feedback that we're getting here or even on our support channel or our social channels, please feel free to share it with us so we can learn and really listen to what you guys want and need. Elliot, I'm new to this. Maybe dumb. Nothing is dumb, first of all. I work out certain muscle groups each session at the gym. If you do a leg workout, do you just shut legs if you want to work out Catalyst next day?
Great question. So you could, I guess, in theory, yeah, turn off certain muscle groups or turn off that lower body to get into just an upper body session or something like that. One thing just to be weary of, though, within that is even though you're not targeting the same muscle group or putting strain on that muscle group, we do still have muscular waste and things floating through the body that we like to minimize and keep to lower limits there. So if it elevates in your lower body workout, your leg workout on Monday, and it's still elevated and hasn't recovered by the time you head into Katalyst on Tuesday, even though you're just doing an upper body and the legs aren't targeted, you're still going to add elevation into that and add muscular waste into the body. So just something to be weary of is even though that muscle group might not still feel strained, still could be helpful to take that nice 24 hours of rest in between. But in theory, yes, you could turn off an entire segment or muscle group within the body if you don't want to train it that day.
Thanks, Cameron. Yeah, literally listen to your body. Like nobody understands your body better than yourself. So give it a rest if it's needed. One question that Isabel was raising that I missed. What about hips and lower abdomen? I noticed the suit doesn't hit those spots.
Hips and lower abs. Yeah. So kind of back to the calves and the forearm question of our pads are strong enough to recruit and target muscles without directly covering them. So we do have pads that nuzzle right up to those muscle groups within the hips and the low abs. The hips themselves, the outer part of the hips, there actually isn't much musculature there to recruit. A lot of that is fatty tissue or adipose fat. And you are seeing a full wrap of the glutes. So you're getting all three heads of the glute there targeted, getting into the hips. So not too much to concern with there. Again, all the muscles around targeted, covered. And then the low abs, same thing. That very bottom ab pad nuzzles up close enough to that very bottom lower abdominal section there that it is still being recruited and targeted during your sessions.
Wonderful. Victoria's asking, what signal you get in order to put more intensity to the workout? So how do you know it's too easy, for example?
If you're not swearing at max by the end of it, no. If you are getting to the end of a session, and say your ending intensity is like 120, you finish at 120, get to the end of the session, you feel like you have more gas in the tank, you could keep going. You didn't really break a sweat, just kind of hung out for 20 minutes. That's a good indicator that you could turn it up a little bit the next time. So maybe next time your goal is to end around 140 or 150. So really just gauging, yeah, that gas tank and that rate of perceived exertion. If you feel like you had more to give, then give it in your next session.
Awesome. Or you can also just add like a little quick 5 or 10 minute session, right? That's what I, for example, sometimes do. I feel like, oh, I didn't push myself hard enough or good enough. So just put on like 10 more minutes.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Josie. I forget that those exist too. Those are newer within the past 2 months, are quick 5, 10 minute strength sessions. So those are really great, targeted in specific muscle groups at times of like an ab finisher or a glute finisher, and some total body. So yeah, those are great to sprinkle in at the end too.
All right. And then one question that comes up a lot too. Thank you for flagging, Victoria. If a family member used my suit, I cannot delete the workout results he did. Is that possible?
Yeah, so unfortunately not possible, but that is feedback that has been given to us in the past that we've passed along to our software team. So not possible to delete it. My suggestion is if you are going to have a family member use your suit or you're having a friend test it out, is just to create a second account. So log out of your account, sign up with a second one. Your Impulse Pack can hold up to 4 different accounts. So maybe you just have like a burner account with a second email address for your friends to use as they test out your suits. But yeah, unfortunately, no way to go in and delete that. But the good news is that the next session you do and dial everything into your intensities will become the new norm again. So the software will always go based off of your last preceding session.
Great. And just to remember, like every membership includes like 4 accounts. So guys, feel free to rather set up a new account for somebody who wants to try it out than, I don't know, crushing through your own intensities. That's at least my experience, because you don't want to jump into your husband's intensities, for example, over there. And then Judith is asking, can you explain the difference between power, strength, and cardio workouts?
Yeah, so strength mode is going to be a frequency level, so electric current there, that targets your slow twitch muscle fibers. So you can think of that mode as building muscle mass or building those foundational blocks of muscle mass. We're doing slow controlled movements for 4 seconds on, 4 seconds of rest. So you have 10 minutes time under tension there. Power mode feels really super similar. The programming is different in that you are doing dynamic, quick-paced movements, and the frequency setting for power mode is targeting your fast twitch muscle fibers. So just getting different type of muscle fiber there. These are the muscle fibers that make the muscle dynamic. So allows it to jump and expand and move quickly and do those dynamic movements. And then cardio mode. Again, different frequency level. It's not powerful enough to give that full muscle squeeze or recruitment. So just feels like a drumming. It's an external stimuli, just getting those muscles activated enough that blood flow travels through them, making the heart work a little bit harder while you're doing that cardio workout to provide blood to all of the muscles that are being stimulated there.
Great summary, Kim. Thank you, Judith. Just in case you jumped on later, so again, like we're going to record the whole session and share it through after, you can just go back into the video and double check that where we're covering that in a lot more detail. All right, then I had to smirk about the comment from Marcus that I swear at max every time. Go for it. That's gotta do. You know, like at least we see the results. All right. And I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss anything. Isabel, Cameron, let me know. But I think we covered it all. Yeah, otherwise, thank you everybody for participating. Thank you for like putting in all the questions, participating in our polls. That is so helpful for us too. We love hearing your feedback. Um, I think just one more slide, right, Kim? Just to wrap it up.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this guy. Thank you. Just a quick plug for our Transformations podcast. So this is on our YouTube channel as well. This is a podcast that our CEO and founder, Bjorn, is hosting. So he brings real members onto the podcast to discuss their life and their journey with Katalyst and how this has been a puzzle piece into their life. And it's really inspiring and cool to listen to. I gave this reference last time I hosted. We often listen to podcasts promoting products that we don't already own. So it can feel a little hard to relate or put ourselves in our shoes or see how that fits into your life. And it's really cool to listen to a podcast or an interview centered around a product that you already have and feel the relation that you have to that product and just the inspiration that comes from it as well. We've had some really cool people on this podcast, cancer survivors, a menopause doctor, a ton of other ones I'm forgetting, but really super great if you need something to listen to on your next walk or treadmill run. I would give one of these a listen. They're great. And lastly, our socials. We exist on all major social media platforms here: Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. Please head over to those and interact with us. We are active on these as well. Also Reddit recently. So happy to chat with you guys on these platforms too.
Lovely. Thank you, Cameron, so much for running us through that. So helpful. I also saw the comments in the chat that people like really appreciated it. So thanks everyone. Watch out for that email that's coming. If you have any more questions, feel free to respond to the email or set up a one-on-one again if you have like personal issues that you would like to touch base on with our care team. Otherwise, enjoy your week and thanks everybody. Stay hydrated and work out.
Bye, guys. Thank you.